Do cats cause schizophrenia? Schizophrenia, any of several severe mental disorders having such symptoms as hallucinations, disorganized thinking, withdrawal from reality, or bizarre behavior, is produced by premature deterioration of the brain. This deterioration is usually a product of genetic predisposition combined with stress, but it can be accelerated by external disease or parasites. Schizophrenia affects only 1% of the population, although many people are predisposed to it but are never exposed to enough stress to exhibit any symptoms. How could cats possibly play a role in something so complicated? Well, as it turns out, one of those potentially accelerating parasites can be found in our feline friends. Toxoplasma gondii, T. gondii for short, is a parasite that lives in raw meat and some garden soils. Cats became infected with it through consuming outdoor prey and then can pass it along to humans through their feces and litter boxes. So, does owning a cat make you susceptible to schizophrenia? That's just the thing scientists still aren't sure. Though some studies have been done, none has been conclusive. The current consensus is that there is a definite correlation between cats and schizophrenia, but it is unlikely that the animals are a causal factor in the development of the disorder. Basically, cats probably don't actually cause someone to develop schizophrenia. The T. gondii found in some cats can cause cysts that accelerate premature brain deterioration, but such deterioration can happen only in individuals who are predisposed to schizophrenia.
Do cats cause schizophrenia? Schizophrenia, any of several severe mental disorders having such symptoms as hallucinations, disorganized thinking, withdrawal from reality, or bizarre behavior, is produced by premature deterioration of the brain. This deterioration is usually a product of genetic predisposition combined with stress, but it can be accelerated by external diseases or parasites. Schizophrenia affects only 1% of the population, although many people are predisposed to it but are never exposed to enough stress to exhibit any symptoms. How could cats possibly play a role in something so complicated? Well, as it turns out, one of those potentially accelerating parasites can be found in our feline friends. Toxoplasma gondii, T. gondii for short, is a parasite that lives in raw meat and some garden soils. Cats become infected with it through consuming outdoor prey, and then can pass it along to humans through their feces and litter boxes. So, does owning a cat make you susceptible to schizophrenia? That's just the thing. Scientists still aren't sure, though some studies have been done, none has been conclusive. The current consensus is that there is a definite correlation between cats and schizophrenia, but it is unlikely that the animals are a causal factor in the development of the disorder. Basically, cats probably don't actually cause someone to develop schizophrenia. The T. gondii found in some cats can cause cysts that accelerate premature brain deterioration, but such deterioration can happen only in individuals who are predisposed to schizophrenia. Do cats cause schizophrenia? Schizophrenia, any of several severe mental disorders having such symptoms as hallucinations, disorganized thinking, withdrawal from reality, or bizarre behavior, is produced by premature deterioration of the brain. This deterioration is usually a product of genetic predisposition combined with stress, but it can be accelerated by external diseases or parasites. Schizophrenia affects only 1% of the population, although many people are predisposed to it, but are never exposed to enough stress to exhibit any symptoms. How could cats possibly play a role in something so complicated? Well, as it turns out, one of those potentially accelerating parasites can be found in our feline friends. Toxoplasma gondii, T. gondii for short, is a parasite that lives in raw meat and some garden soils. Cats become infected with it through consuming outdoor prey, and then can pass it along to humans through their feces and litter boxes. So, does owning a cat make you susceptible to schizophrenia? That's just the thing. Scientists still aren't sure. Though some studies have been done, none has been conclusive. The current consensus is that there is a definite correlation between cats and schizophrenia, but it is unlikely that the animals are a causal factor in the development of the disorder. Basically, cats probably don't actually cause someone to develop schizophrenia. The T. gondii found in some cats can cause cysts that accelerate premature brain deterioration, but such deterioration can happen only in individuals who are predisposed to schizophrenia. Do cats cause schizophrenia? Schizophrenia, any of several severe mental disorders having such symptoms as hallucinations, disorganized thinking, withdrawal from reality, or bizarre behavior, is produced by premature deterioration of the brain. This deterioration is usually a product of genetic predisposition combined with stress, but it can be accelerated by external diseases or parasites. Schizophrenia affects only 1% of the population, although many people are predisposed to it, but are never exposed to enough stress to exhibit any symptoms. How could cats possibly play a role in something so complicated? Well, as it turns out, one of those potentially accelerating parasites can be found in our feline friends. Toxoplasma gondii, T. gondii for short, is a parasite that lives in raw meat and some garden soils. Cats become infected with it through consuming outdoor prey, and then can pass it along to humans through their feces and litter boxes. So, does owning a cat make you susceptible to schizophrenia? That's just the thing. Scientists still aren't sure. Though some studies have been done, none has been conclusive. The current consensus is that there is a definite correlation between cats and schizophrenia, but it is unlikely that the animals are a causal factor in the development of the disorder. Basically, cats probably don't actually cause someone to develop schizophrenia. The T. gondii found in some cats can cause cysts that accelerate premature brain deterioration, but such deterioration can happen only in individuals who are predisposed to schizophrenia.
Do cats cause schizophrenia? Schizophrenia, 精神分裂者 schizophrenia patient, chronic schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia have suffered from develop schizophrenia, suffer from schizophrenia, diagnose schizophrenia, treat schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, any of several severe mental disorders having such symptoms as hallucination, disorganized thinking, withdrawals from reality, or bizarre behavior is produced by premature deterioration of the brain. Symptom, flu symptom, display, exhibit, have, show, suffer from, 表现出什么症状 display, exhibit, have, show, suffer from, symptom. Severe, 严重的症状 acute, chronic, severe, chronic symptom, acute symptom. Sign, hallucination, 幻觉、听觉 illusion. High temperature can cause hallucination. Experience, have, suffer. Bizarre, weird. A bizarre situation, a bizarre incident, a bizarre story. Look, seem, bizarre. Sound bizarre, found something bizarre, bizarrely 副词反常的、怪异的、过早的 premature 过早的、提前的、未成熟的 his premature death at the age of 37 early prematurely 副词过早的、提前的 deterioration 恶化 deterioration a serious deterioration in relations between the two countries 两国关系的严重恶化 deteriorate 变化变坏退化 Her health deteriorated rapidly and she died shortly afterwards. Worsening, decline. Schizophrenia, any of several severe mental disorders having such symptoms as hallucination, disorganized thinking, withdrawal from reality, or bizarre behavior is produced by premature deterioration of the brain. 主语 schizophrenia 谓语 is produced by 宾语 premature deterioration of the brain 插入语中 having 这部分的是动名词短语做后置定语。修饰 severe mental disorder 其中嵌套 such as 其结构其列举作用，而 several 这里表示泛指的几种与后面 such as 列举的症状种类对应 any of 中的 any 则是代词，代指 several severe mental disorders 中的任何一种。This deterioration is usually a product of genetic predisposition combined with stress. But it can be accelerated by external disease or parasites. Predisposition 倾向易患某种病的体质。Predisposition a genetic predisposition to liver disease. Predisposition to predisposition towards 有什么什么的倾向。A predisposition towards alcoholism. Inclination. Parasite. An external parasite. Carry, have, pick up. Parasite. An intestinal parasite 肠道寄生虫。
Intestinal,
carry, have, parasite. Pick up. Pass through something, pick up intestinal parasite. Schizophrenia affects only 1% of the population. Although many people are predisposed to it, but are never exposed to enough stress to exhibit any symptoms. Predispose 使易患某种病诱发 predispose somebody to something. Stress can predispose people to heart attacks. Diabetes predispose patients to infection. Predispose 是倾向于使受什么什么的影响。Some people are predisposed to criminal behavior. Some people are predisposed to criminal behavior. Predisposition 倾向素质易染病体质。Predisposition incline 倾向。predisposition 倾向易染病体质。incline decline. How could cats possibly play a role in something so complicated? Well, as it turns out, one of those potentially accelerating parasites can be found in our feline friends. Feline. She works with feline grace. She works with feline grace. Feline 猫科动物的 canine tooth. Toxoplasma gotti, T. gotti for short, is a parasite that lives in raw meat and some garden soils. Cats become infected with it through consuming outdoor prey and then can pass it along to humans through their feces and little boxes. Toxoplasma gotti, T. gotti for short, is a parasite that lives in raw meat and some garden soils. Cats become infected with it through consuming outdoor prey and then can pass it along to humans through their feces. And little boxes. Infect 是携带病菌污染。Be infected with something. Egg infected with salmonella. Contaminate infect 是传染，是感染。Contaminate 有污染、弄脏的意思。It is not possible to infect another person through kissing. It is not possible to infect another person through kissing. People infected with HIV. People infected with HIV 染上艾滋病毒的人。Infection 衍生。Consume 吃喝。Before he died, he had consumed a large quantity of alcohol. Before he died, he had consumed a large quantity of alcohol. Eat, drink. Consume 消费消耗。A smaller vehicle will consume less fuel. Consumer 消费者。Consumption 消耗耗费。Prey 被捕食的动物猎物。A tiger stays stalking its prey. Predator 捕食动物，掠食动物，捕食性动物。Birds of prey 猛禽。Beasts of prey. So does owning a cat make you susceptible to schizophrenia? Susceptible 易受影响的，易得病的。Susceptible to something. Old people are more susceptible to infections. Sensitive, susceptible. That is just the thing. Scientists still aren't sure. aren't sure, though some studies have been done. None has been conclusive. The current consensus is that there is a definite correlation between cats and schizophrenia, but it is unlikely that the animals are a causal factor. Causal factor in the development of the disorder. Consensus 一致的意见共识 consensus about something consensus on something consensus that she is skilled at achieving consensus on sensitive issues. There is a consensus among teachers that children should have a broad understanding of the world. There is a consensus among teachers that children should have a broad understanding of the world. Agreement, consensus, agreement, 相互关系 correlation, 相互关系相关关联 correlation between A and B, correlation of A with B, correlation with something. There is a direct correlation between exposure to sun and skin cancer. There is a direct correlation between exposure to sun and skin cancer. There is also some correlation with social class. The correlations of social power with wealth, link, relation, connection, correlate, 相互关联，相互影响. Basically, cats probably don't actually cause someone to develop schizophrenia. The T-gauty found in some cats can cause cysts that accelerate premature brain deterioration, but such deterioration can happen only in individuals who are predisposed to schizophrenia. Cyst. He had a minor operation to remove cystic 与囊肿有关的 The T-gauty found in some cats can cause cysts that accelerate premature brain deterioration, but such deterioration can happen only in individuals who are predisposed to schizophrenia. 今日思考每日一问，精神健康的重要性不言而喻。除了精神分裂症这类精神性 disorder 的疾病，还有哪些疾病属于精神性方面问题造成的 disorder？ 比如我们熟知的常见于儿童的自闭症，还有老年人多发的老年痴呆症。那么自闭症与老年痴呆症英文该怎么说呢？你们知道吗
Cats cause schizophrenia? Any of several severe mental disorders having such symptoms as hallucinations, disorganized thinking, withdrawal from reality, or bizarre behavior is produced by premature deterioration of the brain. This deterioration is usually a product of genetic predisposition combined with stress, but it can be accelerated by external diseases or parasites. Schizophrenia affects only 1% of the population, although many people are predisposed to it, but are never exposed to enough stress to exhibit any symptoms. How could cats possibly play a role in something so complicated? Well,
Well,
as it turns out, one of those potentially accelerating parasites can be found in our feline friends. Toxoplasma gondii, T. gondii for short, is a parasite that lives in raw meat and some garden soils. Cats become infected with it through consuming outdoor prey, and then can pass it along to humans through their feces and litter boxes. So, does owning a cat make you susceptible to schizophrenia? That's just the thing. Scientists still aren't sure. Though some studies have been done, none has been conclusive. The current consensus is that there is a definite correlation between cats and schizophrenia, but it is unlikely that the animals are a causal factor in the development of the disorder. Basically, cats probably don't actually cause someone to develop schizophrenia. The T. gondii found in some cats can cause cysts that accelerate premature brain deterioration, but such deterioration can happen only in individuals who are predisposed to schizophrenia.